Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button right now. The football world is still reeling from Shadeur Sanders' historic performance against the Tennessee Titans, but what happened off the field on Monday might be even more significant than what he accomplished between the white lines on Sunday. While everyone was busy debating whether the Cleveland Browns finally found their franchise quarterback after 30 years of searching, a bombshell revelation dropped that has Deion Sanders celebrating and the entire sports world taking notice of something much bigger than football. Shedeur Sanders didn't just dominate on the field this weekend. He dominated something far more telling, something that reveals the true cultural impact of what's happening in Cleveland right now. According to data shared across social media platforms on Monday, both Shadeur and his brother Shilo Sanders were among Google's most searched athletes in 2025, and the rankings are absolutely stunning when you consider what they mean for the Sanders family legacy and the growing influence of these young men in the sports landscape. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Shedeur wasn't just on the list. He wasn't simply included among notable names. He was number one, the top searched athlete of the entire year. Let that sink in for a moment. A fifth-round pick who has started exactly 3 NFL games is the most searched athlete in America, beating out some of the biggest names in all of sports. He surpassed boxer Terrence Crawford, who has been making waves in the boxing world. He topped NBA rookie sensation Cooper Flagg, who has been hyped as a generational talent. He even beat out All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons, an established star who has been one of the faces of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. A rookie quarterback selected 144th overall in the draft is generating more search interest than established superstars and highly touted prospects across multiple sports. If that doesn't tell you something profound about the cultural phenomenon surrounding Shedeur Sanders, then you're simply not paying attention to what's happening in real time. This isn't just about football anymore. This is about celebrity, influence, brand power, and the kind of mainstream attention that transcends sports and bleeds into popular culture. And it gets even more remarkable when you consider Shilo Sanders' placement on this list. Shilo came in as the 8th most searched athlete despite not even making it past the preseason with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent. Read that again slowly. A player who didn't make an NFL roster, who never played a single regular season snap in the league, was the 8th most searched athlete in America. That's not about football performance. That's about the Sanders name, the Coach Prime effect, the social media presence, and the genuine fascination the American public has with this family. Deion Sanders, never one to shy away from the spotlight or miss an opportunity to celebrate his children's accomplishments, took to Instagram on Monday to share his reaction to this incredible news. His post revealed not just pride in his son's achievements, but also acknowledged the criticism and negativity that has followed the family throughout their journey. His message was powerful, prophetic, and packed with the kind of confidence that has defined his entire life, both as a player and as a father. I can see it, but what God has for them can't no man, woman, or child stop, wrote Coach Prime in his Instagram post, tagging multiple family members and making it clear this message extended beyond just Shedeur and Shilo. He continued, "All the rest of us of all ethnicities that deals with the same type of mess. God bless you all." He closed with his signature hashtag, Prime, the single word that has become synonymous with excellence, confidence, and an unwavering belief in destiny. This statement from Deion carries layers of meaning that go far beyond simply celebrating a Google search ranking. It's an acknowledgement of the obstacles, the doubters, the critics who have questioned every move this family has made. It's a recognition of the scrutiny that comes with being a Sanders, with carrying a legendary name, with having the audacity to believe you're destined for greatness before you've proven it at the highest level. And it's a declaration that none of that negativity matters because what's meant to be will be, regardless of who tries to stand in the way. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more perfect or more significant. Just one day after Shedeur delivered the best single-game performance by any rookie quarterback in the 2025 season, we discover that he's been the most searched athlete in America all year long. This wasn't a spike caused by Sunday's game. This ranking reflects sustained, consistent interest throughout the entire year. People have been searching for information about Shedeur Sanders more than any other athlete in any sport, and they've been doing it for months. Think about what that means for the narrative that Shedeur was overlooked in the draft. Think about what it says regarding the disconnect between how NFL general managers and scouts evaluated him versus how the general public viewed him. The American people were paying attention to Shedeur Sanders long before he threw his first NFL pass. They were interested in his story, invested in his journey, curious about his potential. Meanwhile, 143 players were selected before him by people who are supposedly experts at evaluating football talent. The Browns didn't just get a fifth-round steal when they drafted Shedeur Sanders. They acquired the most culturally relevant athlete in America, a player who generates more public interest than established superstars making tens of millions of dollars per year. From a pure marketing and brand perspective alone, that's an incredible value proposition. But combined with his on-field performance, with the historic numbers he just put up, with the leadership qualities he's demonstrated, and with the trajectory he's on, Cleveland may have accidentally stumbled into the most valuable asset in their entire organization. This Google search data also validates something that Coach Prime has been saying for years. Shedeur Sanders is special, not just as a football player, though Sunday's performance certainly confirmed that, but as a complete package, as a brand, as someone who captures public imagination and generates genuine interest from people who might not even be hardcore football fans. That's the kind of intangible quality that separates good players from true franchise cornerstones, the kind of magnetism that can change the entire culture of an organization. The fact that Shedeur Sanders ranks 8th on this list, despite never playing in a regular season NFL game, is perhaps even more telling about the power of the Sanders brand and the reach of what Deion has built. Shedeur has been featured prominently on the Coach Prime documentary series on Amazon. He's been a constant presence in the content that comes out of the Sanders camp. He's leveraged social media effectively to build his own following. And people are fascinated by him, searching for information about him, following his journey even though it hasn't included NFL success to this point. This speaks to something larger than individual achievement. This is about family, about brand building, about understanding that sports in 2025 is as much about entertainment and personality as it is about what happens on the field. The Sanders family understands this better than almost anyone in sports. They've embraced social media, leaned into their personalities, created compelling content, and given people reasons to care beyond just wins and losses. Critics have dismissed this as distraction, as flashover substance, as self-promotion that detracts from football, but the results speak for themselves. Shedeur just had the best game of any rookie quarterback this season, and he's the most searched athlete in America. Those two facts are connected. The attention doesn't diminish the performance. If anything, it amplifies it, creates more pressure, raises expectations, and forces him to back up all the hype with actual production. And on Sunday, that's exactly what he did. Kevin Stefanski made an announcement on Monday that finally gave Browns fans something to celebrate beyond individual statistics. He declared that Shedeur Sanders will be the starter moving forward, ending the uncertainty and weekly speculation about who would be under center. This wasn't a difficult decision after Sunday's performance, but it's still significant that Stefanski made it official and gave his rookie quarterback the security of knowing the job is his for the remainder of the season. This commitment is crucial for Shedeur's development and for the Browns' ability to properly evaluate what they have at the most important position in sports. You can't accurately assess a young quarterback's potential if you're constantly threatening to bench him or rotating him in and out of the lineup. He needs consistent opportunities, he needs to play through mistakes, he needs to develop timing and chemistry with his receivers, and he needs to grow comfortable running the offense at NFL speed. Stefanski's announcement provides all of that, at least for the final 4 games of this season. But here's what should concern Browns fans, despite this seemingly positive development. Stefanski's track record with quarterbacks has been questionable at best, and his in-game decision-making on Sunday actively worked against Shedeur's success. The failed 2-point conversion where Sanders wasn't even on the field remains one of the most baffling coaching decisions of the entire season. You have a quarterback who just threw for 364 yards and 3 touchdowns, who has demonstrated poise and playmaking ability all game long, who gives you the best chance to convert a crucial play, and you take him off the field for a gimmick that everyone in the stadium could see coming. That's not analytics. That's not being creative or unpredictable. That's not trusting your best player in the biggest moment. And it cost the Browns a chance to tie the game and potentially win in overtime. If Cleveland is truly committed to building around Shadeur Sanders, if they genuinely believe he's the franchise quarterback they've been searching for, then they need to empower him, not undermine him. They need to put the ball in his hands in crucial situations, not take it away. They need to design an offense that maximizes his considerable talents, not force him into a system that doesn't fit his skill set. The juxtaposition between what happened on the field Sunday and what was revealed off the field Monday creates a fascinating narrative tension. On one hand, you have a young quarterback proving all the doubters wrong with historic production and clutch performances. On the other hand, you have confirmation that he's been the most captivating athlete in America all year long, generating more interest than anyone else in sports. These two storylines feeding into each other create momentum, build intrigue, and set up what could be one of the most compelling stories in the NFL over the next few years. The question becomes whether the Cleveland Browns organization recognizes what they have and responds appropriately. Do they understand that they didn't just draft a quarterback in the 5th round, but rather acquired the most searched athlete in America who happens to also be incredibly talented at football? Do they appreciate that the attention surrounding Shedeur isn't a distraction, but rather an asset that can help rebuild their brand and reconnect with a fan base that has endured 30 years of quarterback futility? Do they realize that proper development of this young man could transform their franchise for the next decade? Or will they somehow find a way to screw this up, like they've screwed up so many other opportunities throughout their tortured history? Will they stick with a coaching staff that seems reluctant to fully embrace what Shedeur brings to the table? Will they surround him with adequate talent and protection? Will they have the patience to let him develop and grow through inevitable rookie mistakes? The answers to these questions will determine whether Sunday's historic performance was the beginning of a beautiful partnership or just a tantalizing glimpse of what could have been. Deion Sanders' Instagram post suggests he's aware of the obstacles that lie ahead for his sons. His reference to the same type of mess that people of all ethnicities deal with indicates he understands the scrutiny, the criticism, the people who want to see them fail simply because of who they are and the confidence they carry. But his unwavering faith that what God has for them can't no man, woman, or child stop reveals he's not worried about any of that. He believes in divine destiny, in a plan that's bigger than draft position or public opinion or the limitations others try to impose. That faith has been tested throughout Shedeur's journey. The decision to transfer to Colorado, the scrutiny of playing for his father, the questions about competition level, the shocking slide on draft night, the lack of initial opportunity in Cleveland. Every step of the way, there have been people doubting, questioning, criticizing, and every step of the way, Shedeur has responded by letting his performance speak louder than the noise. Sunday's game was just the latest example of this pattern. 364 yards passing, 3 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown. The best rookie quarterback performance of the season. Historic production that joined elite company and established new standards. And he did it all while the most searched athlete in America, while carrying expectations that would crush most 23-year-olds, while playing for a losing team with questionable coaching. The Google search data also raises interesting questions about media coverage and public perception versus reality. If Shedeur Sanders has been the most searched athlete in America, shouldn't he have been receiving more mainstream media attention throughout the year? Shouldn't analysts and talking heads have been discussing him more frequently? Shouldn't his draft slide have been treated as a bigger story? The disconnect between public interest, measured by search data, and media coverage suggests that sometimes the people are ahead of the traditional gatekeepers in recognizing what's actually interesting and relevant. Social media has democratized attention in ways that didn't exist even 10 years ago. Shadeur doesn't need ESPN or Fox Sports to anoint him as important. He's built his own platform, cultivated his own following, created his own narrative. The Google searches reflect genuine organic interest from millions of individual people choosing to seek out information about him. That's far more valuable and authentic than manufactured hype or forced storylines from traditional media outlets. This is the new reality of sports celebrity in 2025. Athletes who understand personal branding, who leverage social media effectively, who create compelling content beyond just game highlights, can build massive followings and generate enormous interest regardless of what mainstream media says about them. Shedeur Sanders represents the vanguard of this movement, an athlete who was already famous before he proved himself in the NFL, who had millions of people invested in his story before he took his first professional snap. The pressure that comes with that kind of attention could destroy some players. The scrutiny, the expectations, the constant judgment of every throw and every decision could be overwhelming. But Shedeur has grown up in this environment. His father is Deion Sanders, one of the most famous athletes in American history, someone who turned self-promotion into an art form and backed it up with Hall of Fame performance. Shedeur has been preparing for this level of attention his entire life. The spotlight doesn't scare him, it energizes him. That mental makeup, that comfort with pressure and expectation, is perhaps his most valuable trait as a quarterback. The physical tools are evident. The arm strength, the accuracy, the mobility, all of that shows up on film. But the mental side, the poise under pressure, the ability to perform when everyone is watching, that's what separates good quarterbacks from great ones. And Shedeur has demonstrated repeatedly that he thrives in big moments, that he doesn't shrink from attention or responsibility. As the Browns prepare for their final 4 games, as Shedeur settles in as the unquestioned starter, as the attention continues to build, one thing becomes increasingly clear. We're not just watching a rookie quarterback develop. We're witnessing the emergence of a legitimate cultural phenomenon, someone who transcends sports and becomes part of the broader conversation. The most searched athlete in America, playing the most important position in the most popular sport in the country for a historic franchise desperate for a savior. That's a story with legs, a narrative that will dominate discussions for years to come. Deion Sanders knows this. His Instagram post wasn't just proud father material. It was a declaration, a statement that his sons are exactly where they're supposed to be, doing exactly what they're meant to do. And no amount of criticism or obstacles will derail what's been ordained. Whether you believe in that kind of destiny or not, you can't argue with the results. Shedeur is producing on the field and capturing attention off it. He's making history as a player while becoming the most searched athlete in America. The Browns have a decision to make. They can embrace this, build around it, nurture it, and potentially solve their 3-decade quarterback crisis. Or they can squander it through incompetence, stubbornness, or failure to recognize what they have. Based on their history, either outcome seems possible. But if they're smart, if they're paying attention to more than just Sunday's box score, if they understand that cultural relevance and genuine public interest are valuable commodities in modern sports, they'll do everything possible to ensure Shedeur Sanders remains in Cleveland for a very long time. The most searched athlete in America just had the best game of any rookie quarterback this season. That's not a coincidence. That's alignment. That's talent meeting opportunity, meeting preparation, meeting destiny. And if Deion Sanders is right, if what God has for them truly can't be stopped by any person on earth, then we're only seeing the beginning of something special. The 5th-round pick nobody wanted is now the player everyone is searching for, quite literally. And on Monday, his father made sure the world knew it. If you're as amazed by these developments as you should be, if you believe Shedeur Sanders is proving he's destined for greatness regardless of draft position, if you think the Browns better not mess this up, then smash that like button right now. Drop a comment and tell me whether you think Shedeur will finish the season as Offensive Rookie of the Year despite being a fifth-round pick. Share your thoughts on what this Google search data really means for his future in the league. And don't forget to subscribe and hit those notifications because this story is far from over. We're documenting every chapter of the most fascinating rookie season in recent memory, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Remember, talent and attention don't always align, but when they do, you get something truly special. Welcome to the Shedeur Sanders phenomenon.